Hello everyone, my name is Bhavika, and before I share with you all the title of my showcase, I would like to recite this poem Playthings by Rabindranath Tagore, which connects with what I'm going to speak on today. Here it goes. Child, how happy you are sitting in the dust, playing with a broken twig all the morning. I smile at your play with that little bit of a broken twig. I am busy with my accounts, adding up figures by the hour. Perhaps you glance at me and think, what a stupid game to spoil your morning with. Child, I have forgotten the art of being absorbed in sticks and mud pies. I seek out costly playthings and gather lumps of gold and silver. With whatever you find, you create your glad games. I spend both my time and my strength over things I can never obtain. In my frail canoe, I struggle to cross the sea of desire and forget that I too am playing a game. Lovely, no? And so, the title of my showcase is Learning Through Play in Our Fragmented World. So, one thing that really disturbs me or really ails me is the extent of fragmentation our communities go through, how divided our world is, and how overwhelmed we feel about it. So, the other day I was listening to this podcast wherein the speaker she said, and what she said did not leave my heart and mind. She said the adult world is a playless space. As we age, we turn away from our sense of wonder and awe in favor of grounded materialism that leaves us anxious, lonely, and whatnot. This might sound really flowery, but I really think that play can help in gluing the world back together. And how is that going to happen? First, we'll have to understand how a child plays. If you see a child playing, you'll see that the child is least interested in the result. Children enter into a space where they're trying to create something, sometimes out of nothing, just building castles in the air. And you see, they might even get hurt sometimes because their play involves risk, it involves wandering around, it involves digressing, it involves feeling strange, it involves feeling happy, joyous. And look at us, look at adults. We are worried all the time about failure, about uncertainty, and we have our sole emphasis on the product and not the process. We are always in a rush to process everything. I talk about me, I'm in a rush to process my joy. That very moment, we want to organize everything from religion to the lesson plans that we teach in class. And I think we do something wrong here, very terribly wrong. And why is that so? So, a few months back, I got this opportunity to engage with kids in a learning festival at one of Delhi MCD schools. And when I engaged with kids there, one of the kids he came up to me and he said, Didi, I wish we could do this every day. I really don't like that timetable and teachers wanting us to get good grades. Like, I feel we are always in a hurry to get an A. And this child came up to me and said this, and I was like, okay. And the child got Maggie that day in his lunch, and he said, I want to share it with you because today I learned so much and I'm so happy, and I'm going to go home and sleep. And it's such a joyful day for me, and you share this Maggie with me today. And I realized, because that day the child was not, imposed with a rhythm. The child was said that, okay, you can make mistakes. Failure is encouraged in the class today. And that was the beauty of the learning festival. And, when I say that everybody watching this should play. I don't mean to say, you go out and play badminton with children or pillow fight with your brother. Like, that's also, like, you can do that as well. I do that. I'm trying to say, find yourself in a state of joy, in an unstructured, playful space, to find moments of enchantment and connection. Because we rip so much out of ourselves in the world every day that we forget that everything in the ecosystem around us plays, from the dolphins to the pollens. Everything plays. And even within us lies an ecosystem that needs some sort of nourishment every now and then. Because I think when we do this, when we start doing this, when we start playing, when we start acting in a playful spirit, I think we'll be in a much better condition to communicate with each other, to open our hearts to the community, to give to people who need it. We'll involve in much more mutual giving without expecting a reward, because playing will break barriers, it will break walls, because in play we learn to trust, and in play, we encounter a diversity of connections, a diversity of emotions. You know, the definition of play can be very different for you, as it's very different for me. And it evolves, it keeps on changing. And it is so dynamic. The other day I felt play for me was, so I went to the park and I had put sitar music, um, and I had my earphones on. And with that sitar music, I wanted to walk barefoot on the grass. And that was play for me the other day. Whereas play for me is sometimes pillow fighting with my brother. So the thing about play is you can change it every now and then as you want it. And that's the thought that I want to leave you all with. Play more. It will heal you. It will give you a sense of being present, being imaginative, and so that, when time comes, we feel a sense of belonging, and we don't seclude someone. We don't mind sharing our resources with someone. We don't mind sharing our love with someone. And we don't mind being tolerant. And that is how I think we will glue the fragments of the world together, the fragments of the community together, by talking to each other, by being tolerant of each other in that playful spirit. So, again, you might balk at my invitation to play, but we all need it. It is a necessity, and that's what I want you to leave. And that's what I want you to think about. I want you to leave you with this thought. Play more and play together as much as you can. And you see what wonders it does to our community, to our world, and how it glues the pieces together. Because I've seen that happen in learning, I've seen that happen in spaces, in families, and it can happen in communities as well. Thank you.